Welcome to another episode of the Prodrift video podcast, this time coming from round 3 of the Irish series at Mondello Park. Under changeable weather conditions, Ireland's top drifters came to the home of Irish motorsport to battle for mid-season honours on the Kildare circuit. Things at the top of the 2009 championship were tight following Mike Dean's victory at round 2, which meant that it was all to play for here in Mondello. The first of 2 rounds to be staged at Mondello, all teams and drivers were looking forward to testing their skills on the fastest layout of the Irish drifting calendar. Following practice, the drivers were briefed on the required line of the Prodrift judges, which differed slightly to the previous Mondello competitions, and it was on to the Super Lap qualifying. The new outside line at turn 2 caught out some of the most established Prodrift competitors as drivers pushed it too close to the gravel traps. However, it was Hankook's Alan Lenihan who was first to lay down a high score. Lenihan was eventually unseated by championship leader Mike Dean in the Silverstone Tyre Nissan, but it was Christy Carpenter in his brand new Top Fuel Imports S15 who claimed the overall Super Lap win, and with it the maximum 8 qualifying points. As the cars prepared for the twin battles, it was apparent that Super Lap mistakes by some of the top drivers meant that the top 16 would throw up some fascinating matches. Championship frontrunner Johnny P was first to battle against top qualifier Christy Carpenter, but an informed Carpenter was too good for power and the WKD Nissan was eliminated. Non-seeded graduate Stephen Bolger also progressed to top 8 after taking down Gavin Lenihan in the black Nissan 180. Alan Sinnott in the WKD Corolla was too fast for another pro-class debutant. Donal Gary, driving the stock AE86, could not match Sinnott's pace and was eliminated. Max's sponsor Dean Carnage Carney was on a charge at Mondello. This top 16 battle against Stephen Shine was an early indication of Carney's form as he moved on. Lenihan brothers Alan and Connor battled next in the top 16. After a sudden death battle, it was elder brother Alan who took his Hankook-sponsored Nissan to top 8. Running in a borrowed car due to terminal engine problems in his Nexen Mazda, James Dean could not match the pace of Nigel Colfer, and the 2008 Prodrift champion was eliminated. John Paul McCarthy in the BMW M3 continued to improve as he defeated Anthony Barget en route to top 8. And in the final top 16 battle, Martin French, driving a new Nissan Laurel, was no match for championship leader Mike Dean, and the Silverstone Nissan progressed to top 8. This mistake from top qualifier Christy Carpenter through turn 1 was enough to hand victory to Stephen Bolger. The non-seeded driver moved on to final 4. In what was billed the battle of the day, Dean Carney delivered an aggressive attack on the door of Alan Sinnott. After a sudden death battle, it was judged that Carney was superior, and the Maxis Nissan progressed to the final 4. In another sudden death battle, Nigel Colfer and Alan Lenihan fought for the penultimate final 4 position, with the WKD Nissan of Colfer eventually taking the win. Again, Mike Dean delivered 2 faultless runs in his battle with John Paul McCarthy. The Barry's Motorsport BMW could not match Dean's pace and was eliminated. Bulger's progress was eventually halted in the first semi-final as a mistake through Honda corner allowed Dean Kearney to execute a clean pass and with it a place in the Mondello final. In the second semi-final, Nigel Colfer was battling hard with Mike Dean and was looking good for a place in the final until he lost control on the exit of Honda, thus handing Mike Dean a place in the round 3 final. And so to the final, two drivers who had looked invincible all day. On run 1 with Dean leading, he carried massive speed through turn 1, speed that Kearney couldn't match, and the Maxus Nissan ran wide onto the grass. A massive mistake which Kearney couldn't recover from, and thus handing Mike Dean his second consecutive Prodrift Ireland victory.
Again, Nigel Colfer, I just said this is it, I have to get third here. I made a mistake again, Dean Kearney. I just went out then and I just let the pressure down to the last and I just said here, I'm going to give this everything, and I did.
Absolutely delighted. We had a nightmare of a start to the year, so we were coming here with big expectations. I was about 2.5 car lengths, I'd say, behind him on the way in, and I just threw it all at him. It was either take out Mike or go over the grass, one or the other.
I would hope so, in all fairness. Power-wise, the car is very, very torquey, responsive, reliable. We're trying to keep doing what we're doing, really. we all come here to win, I suppose.
So, as the Prodrift Series passes the midway point, Mike Dean holds a 19-point lead over nearest rival Johnny Power. Next on the Prodrift calendar is a return to Mondello as a rescheduled round on the Japfest weekend. Having witnessed Mike Dean's form here today, it's hard to bet against him as the 2009 series heads for the penultimate event.